Hey everyone, I want to talk all about triggers with OCD, why it's so important to go towards all of our triggers, every thought, sensation, image, and urge, why the idea of safe spaces gets to a lot of people in trouble. OCD sufferers are not, because the world is just really not a safe space. So you're setting up this mental maze in your mind where you think you can get certainty on certain things, but it's not the case. And I always tell people, when I do a video like this, try your best to make it through the entire video. I know what's happening when people start listening to stuff like this. They get triggered and turn it off. I have to be prepared like I do all day, working with countless OCD sufferers with all the one-to-one coaching and webinars. So I hear every fear, every thought, image, sensation, urge all day long. Before I go any further, please subscribe. Let me know if you like videos like this. The purpose of this video is to almost trigger you in a way, which I think will be really good. And then you'll have to go and break some of these fears down. I haven't done a video like this in a while, and I'm very excited about it. Anyone that's done coaching with me knows we are very unique in the mixture of our tough love, compassion, and empathy, where we like to joke around in a serious manner. And one of our goals is to trigger people in certain ways because it's good for them. It helps them build that frustration tolerance. And if you need help, and if you're looking for an approach like this, please email us at phil@ocdrecovery.com, and we will get back to you in a timely fashion. So let's start out with ROCD, and I'll make some notes as I go so I know to kind of keep my points in order. So let's go with ROCD, okay? Chances are there's no such thing as the one. And when I say chances are, there's more than likely 99.99% to 100% no such thing as the one. If my wife died tomorrow and I was single for 5 years and I moved to Thailand and met a Thai individual and got married, who's the one? Is after a 10-year marriage and I'm very in love with that new girl, is that one the one, or is Erica the one, vice versa? What if I wouldn't have went to Cairo school and I would have went somewhere else and I would have dated some girl in another program? So there's a lot of luck and just time and just things playing out. The chance of there being the one is very low. The other part about ROCD is a lot of people cheat, okay? Husbands cheat, wives cheat, same-sex marriages cheat, lots of people lie, lots of people embezzle from their businesses and steal, and they're very, very manipulative, and they got anger belief problems or distance belief problems where they're asexual and they don't want to hook up after a while because they resent you. So there's a lot of different problems in relationships. And the reason why long-term relationships don't work, in my opinion, is the lack of awareness of how important it is to sustain relationships in a business-type fashion to where you have to work on this stuff all day. I'm coming up married on 5 years, been together for about 8. And it's a daily work in progress, right? And we don't agree on things all the time. When we do, it's great. When we don't, we don't. And we get mad at each other and just how things go in the relationship, okay? So the reality is people die, people cheat. People can go their entire marriages when spouses cheating behind their back and they go all the way to the grave without knowing. This is just the realities of life. This is all about just the realities of life, whether we agree or not. Is not what I'm talking about. That's a different type of video. We've done many videos. These are just the realities of life. Partners pass away. They get terminal cancer. They get sick and die. Children die. Very unfortunate. Separates the mom and the dad. They turn on each other. Okay. Let's go to existential OCD. This is gonna be such a fun video. Okay. Existential OCD. Never going to get certainty on anything. There's that great quote called, "The only thing certain in life is death and taxes." Well, there's a lot of people that don't pay taxes. That's not certain. And on top of that, we don't even know if we're not dead already. We could be dead. When you're watching me, the individual, you who's watching this, I could be a figment of your imagination like the movie Inception. There is nothing that we know besides our overall consciousness to a degree, but even that can be questioned. There's nothing in life that can't be questioned down to a belief system, nothing at all, which makes the world really fun. An individual who's considered a Christian, for an example, they didn't come out of the womb as a Christian. They didn't even know what religion was. They couldn't even conceptualize the belief system around religion until they were older, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for the first year, it's just a baby. Second year, just a baby. They don't really understand what's going on. So that person developed a belief in Christianity. That person's not a Christian. So beliefs can always change, okay? So this is what existential people go nuts. And it's really important to realize that you could be dead right now. There's no way to know. And you could accept that, etc. This could all be a figment of your imagination. These are all right things to talk about, okay? Sensory motor, okay? Let's go to my track, one of my tracks that really bothered me, okay? So sensory motor, hyper-awareness of your breathing, saliva, swallowing sensations, all of that. Those sensations are never going away. Anyone that's trying to convince you to become comfortable with them, to make them habituate, is giving you bad advice. You're going to breathe, swallow, salivate. Your eyes are going to blink. Your heart's going to beat. You're going to breathe. You're going to have bladder function. You're going to have a pulse. You're going to have hair and like all the stuff that people do. I've worked with people that have cut, crazy stuff. Just stuff that you would never even imagine that someone would do to not notice their sensations. Then just switches to something else. It's so sad. But when I teach them, but the reality is you're going to notice these sensations on and off for the remainder of your life. The goal is to not notice these sensations. Your goal is to change your belief systems on the sensations. So that's a good thing to cover. All right, let's go to harm OCD. Well, let's combine some of the moral ones. So harm and POCD, right? Fear of being a bad person, fear of losing control. You're never going to know. The people that lose control and hurt other people, I don't think they thought they were going to do it. They lost control and they did it and had to reap the consequences. This is really hard for people to do, but the reality is you're never going to get certainty on that control factor. You have to lean into those urges. People are going to judge you. We can't control what other people do, and that's a very, very important thing to hear. People kill people, people murder, people shoot, people stab, people physical violence, verbal violence, narcissistic traits, all sorts of stuff is out there. And we can't control what other people do. And we can't even really control what we do because you think you have control, right? But you really don't. Because then what happens is when you're trying to desperately get control, it just goes into your sleep. Okay? All right. Let's go into body dysmorphia. Body image related fears. Okay? This video should be called Triggers with Nick. So body dysmorphia. A lot of people don't have great genetics. Just the truth. Most people don't. Most people work out a lot their whole life. They don't look that good years after working out. Not the end of the world. A lot of people are fat. A lot of people are unhealthy. A lot of people are not blessed with physical attraction and they're ugly. Okay, this is just the reality of life. There's many things that I don't have in my life. Okay, that when I work at them, I'm still not good at those things. But people don't want to accept that. So a lot of people are not blessed with those things. And it's very important to realize that. Okay? People might call you fat. People are going to judge you. People are going to call you ugly. They're going to call you short, too tall, too slim. You have a flat butt, flat chest, small biceps, small back muscles, small calves, all that stuff. The only reason that leads you to a very bad emotional disturbance is because of the belief you hold in that. So getting comfortable with people judging you, getting comfortable with people calling you fat, getting comfortable going to family gatherings and people being like, ooh, I haven't seen you since last Christmas or holiday, and you're not looking that good. You look a little overweight. What's been going on? That's going to happen, okay? Let's go to death. All right. Even though I touched on this with Existential, every person will die that we know of. Physical body death. We don't know what happens in the consciousness. No one knows. I don't think anything happens. I think when you die, you go back to I don't even think you remember this. It's such a trippy thing to think about. When you die, I don't think there's any conscious memory of this right now. Which is wild. So why would we even have the conscious memory? It's such a crazy thing to think about. We're all going to die one day and we never know when it's coming. And no matter how much you try to be safe, I have a friend of mine, bless him, died at 32 years old from cancer about 2 months ago. I don't think he ever smoked. Very rare autoimmune cancer. Things just happen to people. Statistically, you're going to die of a horrible cancer. You're going to die of a heart attack. Pulmonary embolism, you're going to have Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, you're going to get killed in a car accident. Those are probably the more common ones, right, in total. And then old age problems, complications, infections. You might get murdered. You might drive your car off a cliff. Who knows what's going to happen? Anything can happen. So it's very important to cover that. Let's see. Oh, attraction. Let's just say attraction type stuff, okay? You're never going to be able to control your attraction beliefs. I could somehow turn into being attracted to the moment. I've been loving to bring this up. I could be gay tomorrow. Who knows? You might be attracted to someone that might be 17 and you're like, holy crap, this person's not 18. Where's the consent? Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. These things happen. You never know what's going to happen. You might be with your husband or wife for a while and you've been thinking about intimate moments with their sister, or your sister-in-law, your brother-in-law, or any of that stuff. Their moms and stuff like that. And no one wants to cover this stuff because they're so afraid to talk about it. But this is the reality of the human condition. Okay? That's the thing about attraction. So we got ROCD, existential, sensory motor, harm, PSD, body dysmorphia, death, attraction. What are some unrealities of life? The world is not a safe space. No one owes us anything. People do not have to respect us or accept us. Yes, it feels really good. Not even our parents have to accept us or respect us by universal law, or there wouldn't be any kids in foster, right? Again, this is not, I'm not talking about whether I agree or disagree. I'm just talking about the realities of life and how life works. Here's another reality of life. Hard to hear. If you're really overweight, of course you can accept yourself. You're probably not healthy. That's really hard for people to accept because we're living in this world with body acceptance and positivity, and there's some great things in that. The reality is if you're really overweight, you're not healthy. It's good to accept that. I was really overweight. I got fat as shit. I am 5'7". I weigh 175 right now. I get up to 220. Okay, pick a 45-pound plate up from the gym. Put that on me. You could screenshot that. Here's what my face look like. I was really screenshot that, please. I want to see that in the WhatsApp groups. I was really screwed myself. Why do I do this to myself at 7 o'clock at night on a Saturday before I have to go hiking at 3 o'clock in the morning? So it's just the reality of life, right? Nobody offends you. You offend yourself primarily. Doesn't mean things don't sting. Doesn't mean things aren't frustrating, but you primarily offend yourself. If someone says to you, "Fuck you, Sally," the only reason you're offended is because you have a belief that that person shouldn't offend you. So no one offends us without our permission. It's a really, really important Stoic philosophy quote. Very, very important. Epictetus is not what happens to us in our lives, it's the things, our views on those. Okay, so that's really important. You're not special. No one's special, right? We're all just humans on this earth. No one's really special by any means. Your parents brought you up. You're special. You're special. You're special to them. You're not special to the world. Your neighbor who's never talked to you doesn't give a shit about you. That's important to say. Let's see what else. Just because you do things correctly in life doesn't mean you're owed things. Gary Vee, many people know Gary Vee. He says for every 1 million Instagrams, there's a million that fail. That's the truth. You could do everything right, the best business plans, the best this, best that, blah, blah, and still fail, be bankrupt, and go broke, etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a very, very unique video. I'm excited to put this out to see what people say about this. Please watch the whole. Hopefully you watch it. You obviously won't be hearing this. If you like seeing stuff like this, it's almost like comical videos every once in a while. I think it is important. One of the biggest things that really holds people back is that belief about the safe spaces, that people have to respect us, that your values are important. No one's values are important. They're just unique to you. The other people that say they care about your values, when you go to a church, for an example, and 1,000 people there are practicing Christianity, Catholicism, studying the Quran or whatever, or Buddhism or Stoicism, they might have a similar belief in you, but they don't really care about you because they got their own problems and stuff like that. They can care about you, but they'll never care about you as much as they care about themselves, or they wouldn't drink water or eat food because they want to keep themselves alive. So these are just the realities of life that no one wants to talk about, but they help you break down a lot of the catastrophizing. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, Phil at OCDrecovery.com, and we hope to hear from you soon. As always, have a great day. And take that photo of me with my chin like that. I want to see that.